What was the oddest rule you had to follow at a friend's house? Back in middle school, my best friend Emily had this rule at her house that I thought was a prank at first. No laughing after 7 p.m. Not just soft chuckles. Absolutely no laughing at all. The first time I stayed over at Emily's place in our small town, we were having a blast. We just watched a cheesy movie about talking dogs and were cracking up over the awful special effects. It was about 7:15 p.m. when her mom tapped on the bedroom door. I figured she was bringing us popcorn or something, but instead she stood there with this super stern look. "Girls," she said, "it's after 7. You know the rules, Emily." And Emily changed in an instant. She went from laughing hysterically to stone-faced in half a second. I was totally confused, but tried to go along with it, thinking it might be some quirky family gag. But when I let out a tiny snort, Emily nudged me sharply and whispered, "I'm serious. We can't laugh. My parents will get really upset." I thought this was the strangest thing ever, but every family's different, right? So I tried to respect it. But you know how hard it is to not laugh when you're told you can't? It's like someone saying, "Don't picture a giraffe." And suddenly, all you see is a giraffe in sunglasses riding a skateboard. For the rest of the night, we sat watching TV in total silence. No jokes, no silly remarks, nothing. Emily's parents would pop the door open randomly to check on us, but I knew they were making sure we weren't laughing. It was honestly kind of eerie. The next morning at breakfast, Emily and her parents were all smiles and giggles. Her dad was tossing out corny jokes, and her mom was chuckling. I was just sitting there, totally baffled. When I asked Emily about it later, she just shrugged and said, "We're not allowed to laugh after 7. That's just how it is." She wouldn't say why, only that it had always been that way. I slept over at Emily's house plenty of times over the next 2 years, and every time, the same thing happened. 7 p.m. rolled around, and it was like a switch flipped. No laughter allowed. I got better at keeping it together, but there were some close calls. The worst was when Emily's older brother Ethan came home from college one weekend. He didn't know I was there and started telling this hilarious story about his roommate's epic fail at a coffee shop. I was biting my lips so hard I thought it'd bruise, and Emily was nudging me under the table. It was 7:30 p.m., and her parents were giving us the stare. But the night it all fell apart was during our last sleepover before high school. Emily and I were flipping through old photos and found one from a costume party where I'd tripped and face planted into a bowl of juice. It was 7:10 p.m. I couldn't hold it in. I laughed. Hard. Not just a chuckle, but a full-on, tears down my face, can't breathe laugh. Emily looked horrified. She tried to hush me, but it was too late. Her dad stormed in like he was breaking down a fortress, and I swear the room got colder. "Leave," he said to me. Not shouting, which was almost scarier. Just this icy, quiet order. Emily was sobbing, begging him to let me stay, saying it was her fault for showing me the photo, but he wouldn't budge. I had to call my mom to pick me up at 7:30 at night, and Emily's parents made me wait outside. It took Emily almost a month to finally spill the truth about the no laughing after 7 p.m. rule. Ready for this? Because I wasn't. When Emily was little, her grandfather lived with them. He had a rare condition where loud sounds could cause seizures. Laughter was the biggest trigger, and he went to bed at 7 p.m. every night. The rule started to keep him safe. Her grandfather had passed away 3 years before I met Emily. The family just kept the rule. Out of habit, out of respect, out of not knowing how to let go. I don't know.